once it's in the stomach, what you have is the pre-digestive phase. The enzymes that are in the food, the bacteria that are in the food, and you always have bacteria. You have billions and billions of bacteria. They're everywhere. Largest biomass on planet Earth is bacteria, and they're everywhere. Every time you inhale, you're inhaling probably not billions, but even trillions of bacteria into your body system. And they can be contributing factors to quality of health. If they're pathogenic microbes, like if you're basically in a place where you have putrefaction going on and you're inhaling that kind, then of course you're going to start getting sick and feel weird and uncomfortable. So it depends on what you're ingesting. So anyways, airborne bacteria are there, and they will want to eat. They eat much. They duplicate quickly. Every 30 minutes, one bacteria will become 2 bacteria. Then in another 30 minutes, 2 bacteria will become 4 bacteria, and on and on. So they're rapid multipliers, and in order for them to multiply, they have to duplicate themselves, which means they need nourishment. They get nourishment not only from the food that you have eaten, and also the content that is in your stomach and intestinal tract walls, but also from the nitrogen from the air. They're able to utilize nitrogen and other components of the air as far as the building blocks. So you have enzymes being created in a very large volume by bacteria in your stomach. So then you have also any enzyme supplements you have taken. That will be contributing to the digestive process, and any enzymes you will find in the food if it has been uncooked. If you end up heat treating the food, if you heat treat it above 120 degrees for more than 3 minutes, enzyme damage will be occurring, quite severe enough. Due to the overall stress associated with enzyme deficient diet and the need of enzymes for digestion, and the fact that the body realizes that if it does not digest the food, 2 things will happen. One is the food will rot, and nutrients will not be available for building the body. The rot will create all kind of like indole, scuttle, propionic acid, malic acid, phosphorus derivatives, sulfur derivatives, as well as nitrogen derivatives. All of them are quite, let's say, poisonous at different levels. So the individual, so the body will do everything possible to assure the ability to digest. So if you are deficient already in enzymes, and I'll discuss a little later the extent of deficiency in enzymes, then what happens, and in the medical books, there's a term called post-meal, in other words, post-meal, after-meal leukocytosis. Leukocytosis, inflammation of the leukocyte levels. In other words, the white blood cells just go up like crazy, 300 to 800%. And why is this happening? Well, the white blood cells travel all over your body like little golf carts collecting enzymes from your metabolic pool. And you have a lot of surplus enzymes. Matter of fact, according to University of Scotland, in their studies, the body is involved in manufacturing protein, but the protein segment that is manufactured, is called enzymes, is actually much larger than the protein itself. So it makes more enzymes than it does protein. That's how important it is, enzymes, to the carrying on of the process of life. So it harvests enzymes, shoots it over to the pancreas, and the digestive process can be carried on successfully so that protein and starch and fats are converted into simpler and simpler components which your body can utilize. So this process of digestion, as I said, goes on for about an hour. That is based on just what is contained in the food and that you ingested. Then after that, gastric secretions based on the evaluation of the makeup of the stomach will be initiated. Primarily, it will be assisted by the protein digestive enzymes that are part of your body, and also, if needed, hydrochloric acid. If one is consuming basically very toxic foods with microbial cultures, pathogenic microbial cultures that will be poisoning you, the body will shoot out a lot of emergency medicine hydrochloric acid, as well as if it can digest the protein because it's been heat treated. So it'll shoot up strong acidity, and acidity can be utilized to break down the protein, as it's done as an example in soy production of soy sauce. They use sulfuric acid in terms of breaking down the soybean and eventually releasing the aminos and creating a tasty concoction, removing the sulfur acid afterwards. A good example is a product called Bragg's Aminos. It's not a health product, but it's totally consumed by a tremendous number of vegans, raw foodists, and in no way I recommend it. Instead, you should be using unpasteurized. Tamari is an example, far healthier for you, and it's bioactive, it's alive, it's got enzymatic activities. The Bragg's amino acids has no life force, has no activity, it's acidic, it's very high in sodium, and it's not, doesn't contain all the minerals, and also it has MGS, monogluto.
MSG?
MSG.
Bragg's has MSG?
Really?
Yes, it does.
I actually don't.
I did not know that.
How do I know that?
I said we said.
'Cause you
good.
said-
No, I
We
didn't
didn't
know.
know that.
Shit.
If you go back 20 years on the label, it said free of MSG, okay? The government forced them to remove that label because it was a lie. It has natural MSG, and that's why it's so damn addictive.
Oh, wow.
So these are all kind of negative things. I don't recommend anybody to consume that. If you do muscle testing, it shows weak. So anyways, animal protein is has nothing good to offer you. It has only the vengeance of the death that you caused of the animals. They're going to cause your painful death. That's what they do. Basically, you end up suffering pain, acidity, cancer, heart diseases, brain fog. All these kind of things are related to the killing. And in the Bible, it doesn't say, or the teachings in the spiritual teaching says, thou shalt not kill. It doesn't say thou shalt not kill man or woman, or no, it just says thou shalt not kill. Basically, don't kill animals either. They're your brothers and sisters, have consciousness, have communication ability. They can think, they can communicate with you by way of ESP, and et cetera, et cetera. And that includes the cows and everything else like that. And we have like over 20 billion animals slaughtered yearly on planet Earth to accommodate this insanity that we have ourselves bought into it. It's totally unnecessary. And the number one cause of greenhouse gases, according to United Nations Department of Food and Agriculture Department, all their studies indicate that the number one cause of greenhouse gases, in other words, the heating up of the being slaughtered, that's in waiting lines, and pituitary adrenaline is going to be in the flesh, and you're going to be ingesting it. So it changes your consciousness, and that's why yogic philosophy says ahimsa, namely nonviolent dietary habits, in order to be able to open up your consciousness to basically compassion, opening up your heart to all life forms instead of killing other life forms, and thus allowing the Kundalini energy flow past the heart into the throat and pineal and pituitary. Otherwise, you're basically stuck in the lower chakras and basically in not only the suffering of animals but your own self. Enough said on that subject.